but let's move on to what's been happening in the States now. That at least 60 people now believed to have died in the worst Arctic blizzard in 45 years to hit both the US and Canada. Well, the rescue and recovery operation still ongoing. Teams out searching for those missing. The latest we're getting, there is another 9 inches of snow expected in parts of New York State today, hampering all those efforts. Well, some weather forecasters here predicting that Britain could see its snowiest January in 12 years. But the Met Office actually scotching such reports. But a Met Office yellow weather warning is in place for the north and east of Scotland until about 10 o'clock this evening, with ice a particular problem. Well, let's get the thoughts once more of British Weather Service's senior meteorologist Jim Dale. Johnny, Jim, thanks for your time again. We were talking about this situation in the States, and we were discussing maybe that things would be over fairly soon and it would clear. But I'm just getting this news that they're saying that they've got another 9 inches of snow today, when all those rescue teams are out trying to check cars and snowdrifts and so on.
Yeah, we're on the transition zone, and in any transition zone, you're going to get these afterburners. That in terms of that state, the New York State, it showers essentially. I'm not sure where the 9 inches came from. Always difficult to measure these things, but nonetheless, yes, it's still winter in that northeast area, in the northern areas. But the big story is going to be in these next few days. So today's Tuesday, between now or tomorrow and Friday. Huge change coming out of Mexico through Texas. All of this snow that you can see on the ground, or at least the majority of it, will start to melt readily. As fast as it came in, it's going to go out in exactly the same way, only in reverse. So a big heat is coming, and that's going to cause us another problem, which is going to be flooding.
OK, so that's the reverse of what we were talking about, this weather bomb, where the pressure dropped so quickly, which built up those winds and whipped that snow up. It's the reverse of that, where it heats up very quickly then.
Yeah, it's the same thing. This is a huge continent, and you usually get your worst weathers, if you like, your most extreme weathers, and the change in that extreme from one to the other, the topsy-turvy, when you're in a large continent like the United States and Canada. So this is very warm air feeding out of Mexico through Texas. And then through most of the rest of the country. At the same time, we've got rain coming in to the west coast, so Oregon, Washington, Northern California, in for some localized, if not regionalized, flooding at the same time. The two together basically just going to see. I mean, I talked about temperatures in Miami on Christmas Day being 10 degrees. By the time we get to Friday, that's going to be 28 degrees. That's the sort of difference that you're going to see. So manifest changes.
Crazy, isn't it? Well, look, let's have a look at what's happening here, because we've got this yellow weather warning for Scotland until about 10 tonight for ice. And, a lot of people saying, snowy weather in Scotland in winter shock. But clearly a lot of people are concerned about what may be round the corner for January. You were saying that it's unlikely this weather system we saw in the States will be coming across the Atlantic. But how is it looking for us now into the new year?
Okay, I'm agreeing with the Met Office here. On the way to New Year, I think Scotland's got like today, and it's much of Scotland today, especially the Highlands and Grampian areas, inundated with snow. So they're getting their late white Christmas. As for the rest of us, it's basically a rain story, I think, and a bit of wind involved as well. Yeah, that snow might come down just ahead of New Year into some northern England areas and also Northern Ireland. So we'll have to watch that one. But generally speaking, I think you're right in terms of saying, is this the standard? Is it usual? Yeah, snow in Scotland. I think it is, more or less. It's nothing out of the ordinary that we see this kind of weather event between Christmas and New Year, that the north get a little bit more of the snow than the south. And I think that's the story. Unfolding into January, this is where I do agree with the Met Office. I can't see anything at this moment in time that suggests us reverting back to the troll from the Trondheim or anything coming out of America. I think we're safe with that. I think it's the tram lines, the conveyor belt off the Atlantic that's going to bring us the wet and the windy weather and looking out for storms. I think that's the recipe for us for the next few weeks.